Oh, hi there. Hi. So you signed up for the Extreme Pro Gamer Quiz Extreme? Yes. Okay. Perfect. Give me 2 seconds. Perfect. Okay. So I'm just gonna get my questions up here. So I have for you some questions about various video games. And all I want you to do is answer what you think the answer is. It's mostly like trivia style questions. It's not like, subjective. Like they all have right and wrong answers. There's a lot of them here. We might not get through them all. I'll just pick the ones I want to ask you. Okay. All good? Okay. So, question 1, I guess. Which video game series features the infamous Raccoon City? Okay. Good stuff. Okay. Let's see here. What's the name of the money used in the Animal Crossing games? Okay. In Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, Zelda has an alter ego. What is their name? Okay. What is the green crystal that hovers overhead in The Sims called? Okay. Which Final Fantasy game was the first to feature Cloud Strife? Okay. So sorry about that. Okay. In what year did DDR, or Dance Dance Revolution, start? Okay. What year was the first PlayStation released? Okay. Okay, how many different races? How many different races can you choose from in Warhammer Online? Okay. In the Metroid series, what is the protagonist's full name? Yeah, and surname too if you've got it. Perfect. What well-known actor plays Johnny Silverhand in Cyberpunk 2077? Okay. You don't need it, but a clue would have been that every mum has a bit of a crush on him, I think. Or certainly a lot of them. Okay. How many players can square off against one another in a Fortnite Battle Royale? Good. Okay. What was Spyro's original colour? The dragon. Okay. What was the first video game ever to be played in space? Yeah. Come on. Those astronauts have got to get bored eventually. What year was the first Mortal Kombat launched? Launch makes it sound like when was it first launched? The way I phrased that made it sound as if it was like getting thrown up in space. When did the first game come out is what I mean. What is the name of Crash Bandicoot's little sister? Okay. What was Minecraft's original name? I know the answer is not Minecraft. Okay. What is Cloud Strife's sword called in Final Fantasy VII? Yep. Okay. What is the agent number of the Hitman from Hitman? In which video game trilogy is the protagonist named Shepard? Okay. What color is Sonic the Hedgehog? What does PUBG stand for? What kind of animal is Isabelle from Animal Crossing? She's not a bell, as much as she is a bell, because Isabelle. Okay. Okay. What is the name of Blizzard Entertainment's MMORPG that's one of the most popular in the world? Okay. What is the name of the final course in each Mario Kart game? Okay. When you spell LOL with a lowercase o in the gaming world, what does that stand for? There was like a cartoon and some other stuff. Okay. I don't know, maybe you're just not a real gamer, who knows? Okay. Which animal is Knuckles from Sonic the Hedgehog based on? So Sonic the Hedgehog, Knuckles the... God, I can't spell that one. Chronologically, not number... sentences. Chronologically, what number is Skyrim in Bethesda's Elder Scrolls game series? So which one is Skyrim? What number is Skyrim, basically? Okay. What game series are Jill Valentine, Leon Kennedy, and Chris Redfield all from? Gotta love a repeat answer, especially when it's such a good game series. Okay. What are the wearable wrist computers, that's a way to describe it, in the Fallout series called? In Shadow of the Colossus, how many colossi can be encountered? Okay. Sun, Moon, Diamond, and Pearl are all the names of games in which popular franchise? Okay. Technically I had to spell that wrong, but it's okay, I'll copy paste it later. What color is the Mario Kart shell that finds the player in first place and explodes around them? Or like swirls a little. I mean, it explodes, but it depends, the visuals depending on the game. Yeah. Such a funny way to describe this. I'm going to read this verbatim because it's a very funny question. What potato-shaped wind instrument is featured in the title of a 1998 Legend of Zelda game? I would never have thought to describe it as potato-shaped, but I've not played Zelda in a while. Maybe they say that? I don't know. I mean, I don't know what else it'd be shaped like. I just... Okay. Oh, sorry. What is the card game that's tied to the World of Warcraft universe? Okay. What military title does the player character in Mass Effect have? Okay. Which was released first? The Pokemon video games or the Pokemon trading cards? Because you think there'd be an obvious answer, but maybe it's wrong. Or maybe you're thinking of the other obvious answer. Okay. Interesting. Which Nintendo character is the head of a young villainous troupe including Larry, Morton, Wendy, Iggy, Roy, Lemmy, and Ludwig? There's definitely like course for half points there. Which video game was the first to include a complete saving system? I did not know that. That's interesting. That makes sense. I learned something today. Okay. Which renowned football player is featured on the cover of FIFA 14? Even if I didn't know this, I would have like guessed just because there's like I like video games, not sports, really. Which video game originated the phrase "all your base are belong to us"? I think some of these people are too young for now, you know. What's the name of the strategy game about collecting parts for a rocket ship using a horde of little plant-like creatures? We'll try that again. Which war does the first Call of Duty game take place during? Which gaming franchise features characters like King Dedede and Waddle Doo? I very much nearly did King Dedede in the Smash Bros voice, so that would have been a hint. Which gaming company developed GTA? What princess does Mario rescue in the Nintendo game? Obviously, Super Mario Land. It's a good, like, red herring question. Okay. What are groups of Endermen? I can't speak today. What are groups of Endermen called in Minecraft? Like, you know, a murder of crows, etc. I think this one's very fitting. In which year did the Sega Genesis launch and become available for purchase? Any Taylor Swift fans might have been aided a little by that. What color was the original Pac-Man? In the original Pac-Man, The ghost names were Blinky, Inky, Pinky, and what console did the first Final Fantasy game launch on? In what year was Sega founded? Sorry, couldn't help it. Which classic video game features a long journey that begins in Independence, Missouri? Okay. What arcade game did Mario first appear in? In what year did Myst launch? Myst, M-Y-S-T. Okay. What is the name of the main playable protagonist in The Last of Us? Which game is responsible for the iconic line? I'm not going to do it in the intonation, but I want to. I used to be an adventurer like you, then I took an arrow in the knee. I always thought it was an arrow to the knee. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's like a mirror, mirror, magic mirror thing. How many swords does Geralt of Rivia carry at all times? What video game company developed the Halo series? In 2023, which fantasy RPG loaded, I don't know how to say that word, loaded, for its gameplay and narrative was awarded Game of the Year in 2023. Sorry, it took me so long to stumble over that, I just thought I'd remind you of the year. God, it's been a quick couple years. That feels so recent to me. What's the name of the modern day company opposing the assassins in Assassin's Creed? Another one I can't spell. What's the name of Elden Ring's first expansion? Okay. In what year was the original Resident Evil 4, not the remake, released? What ancient mythology is explored in the God of War games? Okay. Do a couple more just to even ourselves up. Okay, Advance, Color, Light, and Pocket are each different varieties of which Nintendo gaming system? Personal favorite, that one. Okay. What is the name of the second video game console released by Microsoft? What came out first, the Sega Saturn or the N64? What was the first commercial home gaming console called? Again, hard to spell. What was the last console ever released by Sega? was the first job of Junpei Yokoi? Yokoi? I always think that's how you say it. Inventor of the Game Boy. Okay. Let's see. Like I said, a couple more. Which Fallout game is set in post-apocalyptic Boston? Okay. What game features a primary currency called V-Bucks? If you know any children, you'll know that one. That's not fair. Not all kids play that game, but most people I know that have had any money spent on that were kids. Okay, 2 more. Which horror series pits the player against animatronic characters? Yeah, of course. And Link's Horizon Legend of Zelda series is by default, because you can change it, named. There we go. Okay. So according to this, you're fine, I guess. All jokes aside, this is very funny to me, these questions, because I just can't imagine that the majority of them people don't know just from cultural references. This is a joke. I do play games. I am, however, also kind of a poser and kind of, you know, I don't care. Play what you want. Have fun. Just don't make fun of other people. Thank you so much for watching this. I do like the ASMR videos where they just ask you questions and trivia and stuff. I think they're fun. I think that they are a good way to engage your brain without being overly like thinky, because you can kind of zone out and just listen to the questions and typing or the writing. Now that I finally have a semi-decent mic, it's nice to be able to engage in that, you know. Okay, thank you so much for watching. Sleep well.